We're going to solve this 3 by 3 system. I'm not going to actually read through the steps. You guys can do that. What I'm going to do is just, whoops, my bad. What I'm going to do is just guide you through it. So the first thing that I would do is label each equation A, B, and C. Now, that's not even mentioned on the steps above, but this helps me stay more organized. Okay, so the thing is, we know how to solve a 2 by 2 system, but we don't know how to solve a 3 by 3 system. There's 3 equations with 3 variables. And what we need to do is create a 2 by 2 system. So I don't want 3 variables. So I need to decide, I need to cancel out either x's, or cancel out the y's, or cancel out the z's. Which do you believe would be the best letter to cancel out first? And it doesn't really even matter, guys, to be honest with you.
X.
You guys want to go for x's? Let's cancel out x's. Okay. So if I want to cancel out x's, let's just pick any 2 equations, and let's go with A and B, yeah? So if I want to cancel out the x's, what do I need to do to A to be able to cancel it out with B? Multiply by a -2. So this is what I'm going to do for the sake of staying organized. I'm going to say -2 times A, okay? And I'm going to circle it. And that's going to be my, it's like the little notation to me that tells me what I'm actually doing. And if I multiply A times -2, it'll be a -6x, it'll be a -2y, and it'll be a +4z, and it'll be an equal, let me move it over a bit, and it'll also be a -20, correct? Okay, now what am I going to do to B? Am I going to do anything to B? No. So I'm just going to write B right here, just to show that I'm not doing anything to B. And I'm going to rewrite it. 6x minus 2y plus z equals -2. And now I'm able to combine and cancel. When I combine the lines, the -6x and the +6x cancel out. I do have a new equation that says -4y plus 5z equals -22. Are you with me? And we're going to call this new equation, we're actually going to label it that. We're going to call it new equation number 1. Okay? So I'm going to call this one new equation number 1. And that's what step 1 is if you read above. Step 2 is to pick the equation you have not used and pick another equation to get the same variable to cancel. Okay? So what did I cancel out right here? What's missing? The x is missing. So I need to go back to the original one and get x to cancel also. But I need to use the equation that I have not used yet. So let's think about this. I've already used A and B. I've already used A and B, so I have not used C. So I need to use C, all right? Because the system is the whole thing, all of them working together. I've already used the first 2. I need to use the third one. So, and I also need to get the same variable to cancel. So since we canceled out x's over here, I need this x to cancel out with either the 3x or the 6x. Which one do you guys think would be easier to cancel it with? The 3x, okay? So I'm going to use the above equation A, and I'm not going to do anything to it. That says 3x plus y minus 2z equals 10. And I'm going to rewrite C, but the way I'm going to rewrite it is I'm going to say, what do I need to do to C in order for the 3 to cancel? Multiply by -3. So I'm going to put -3 times C. And that's the notation that I know of what I'm going to be doing to the C equation. And that's going to be a -3x. It's going to be a -12y. And it's going to be a negative 9z, bless you, and it's also going to be a negative 21. Please let me know if I make any mistakes. Now I'm able to combine the lines and cancel out the x's. So these cancel. I end up with a negative 11y with the negative 11z, and with a, what do I end up with? Negative 11 equals negative 11. And ladies and gentlemen, this right here is new equation number 2. So let's label that. And now from this point, what we need to do is step 3. But before we go on, let me label the steps so you could go back. This right here was step 1. This right here is step 2. And now for step 3, where we take both new equation 1 and new equation 2 and create a new 2x2 system. And the new 2x2 system will be the negative 4y plus 5z equals negative 22, but I'm running out of space here. Negative 22, bless you. And new equation number 2 is negative 11y minus 11z equals negative 11. Okay, so that blue 2x2 system is what we need to solve. And we've already solved these types of 2x2 systems. All you got to do is modify one or both equations to get something to cancel. So what could we do with that 2x2 system? What do you want to cancel? Y's or z's? Let's go for canceling y's, yeah? So how am I going to cancel those y's? They have to be opposite values. So how am I going to cancel them? The top equation I'm going to multiply by what? By 11, or even a negative 11 if you want. All right, whatever you want. So I'm going to go with 11. And the bottom equation we're going to have to multiply by what? Negative 4 if you left the top one a positive 11. So I'm going to have to move this over. We need a lot more space here. So if I multiply the top equation by 11, I'm going to get negative 44y plus 55x. Man. Z, my bad. Thank you. That would have messed everything up right there. So z. And 11 times 22 is 242, you guys said? 242. Man, it's getting ugly. So I apologize for the horrible handwriting, but bear with me. The bottom one, negative 4 times negative 11, I'm going to write it in a different color. Negative 4 times negative 11 is positive 44y. Negative 4 times negative 11 is positive 44z. And at the end it's positive 44. So let's combine these equations and hopefully it starts looking nicer. When I combine, the y's cancel out. I have that's 99. Man, this is really ugly. 99z equals, what's negative 242 plus 44? Anybody, calculator? 188. Negative 188? 198. Okay, and if I divide both sides by 99, what will I get? Negative 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, z equals negative 2. Woo! Lucky, I was getting scared that wasn't going to work out right there. One answer, but we need 3. Okay, so what do we do with that one answer? You're going to take that z value of negative 2 and you're going to plug it in to any of the 2x2 systems, right? Any of the 2x2 system. So let's plug it into the top one. It looks a little nicer. And let me rewrite this top one over here. It's going to be negative 4y plus 5 times z equals negative 22. And when you plug in that z value, it's going to be a negative 2. So you're going to have negative 4y minus 10 equals negative 22. And when you add 10 to both sides, you'll have negative 4y equals negative 12, which means that y equals 3 if you divide both sides by negative 4. Does that make sense? Now, after I have two answers, I need my third answer. I need to go back to my original 3x3 system and plug in both answers to find my third answer. So if we look at the originals, A, B, or C, which one do you think is easiest to plug into? Top, middle, or bottom? A, B, or C? B? C? Whatever. Let's go with C then. And C says x plus 4 times y, but y is 3 because we know that y is 3, plus 3z, but z is negative 2, and we have equals 7. So let's work this out. And we're going to have x plus 12 minus 6 equals 7. It's going to be x plus 6 equals 7, which means that if you subtract 6 on both sides, x equals 1. Ladies and gentlemen, all that work for those three answers. And so how are we going to represent our answer here? We're going to represent our answer by writing it like this. 1, 3, negative 2. It's an ordered triple. It's not an ordered pair. It's not a coordinate on an XY plane. It's actually a coordinate in an XYZ plane, a three-dimensional coordinate. So the answer should be written 1, 3, negative 2. If you write it out of order, if you put 1, negative 2, and 3, I have to mark it wrong because it's in the order of X, Y, and Z. You have to write it in that correct order, X, Y, Z. Okay? I hope this helps. It'll be posted on Edmodo.